Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up this morning, guys. How you doing up there? It's Friday. That means it's the weekend, although it's really about the same because I get up in the morning, I drink my coffee here at home, and I come down here, do my morning report, and I check my orders, and I go in the workshop, and I build racks and cook dinner and go to bed. And that's Monday through Sunday, so it's really not much different. But it is Friday, so it is the weekend is here. And one great thing is Megabytes got my website up and running, and if you've been to my website before, it was a poot screw. I'll be the first one to tell you, it sucked. I built it myself, and it looked like it because I am not that computer guy. I am not that guy. But they have the thing streamlined. We've got the shop, so you see shop now. You can go ahead and see the channel membership, so it'll take you to YouTube. If you want to become a channel member, it takes you to the shop. If you want to go to Teesprings, it takes you to Teesprings, so you can get shirts and things. And somebody asked if I had mugs, and I'll answer in the email. But actually on Teesprings, there are Spread the Mojo coffee mugs. So they are there too. So if you're looking for one of those, you got it there. But even all of the channel members that have sent in their pictures, it scrolls through with all you guys and stuff in there. And it's got the link for Instagram, for Twitter, for Facebook. So everything is in one place now on joeboo.com. So I'm really proud of the site and things and stuff. And one other thing too, somebody last night was going to order five racks. I tell you what, if you're going to order that many, like, buy four, we'll get you one for free or something like that. Just to, as a thank you to you guys. So if you have like a really big order, send me an email. Say, hey, Mark, I'm thinking about doing da-da-da-da-da. And I'll hook a brother up or sister or child or whoever. I'll hook you up. So one final note. You guys have Philly 500 on the run. Philly 500 is getting scared. After he desecrated my son's belt, he put that pile of shit on it. Who knows what else he's doing on it? I want you guys to go after that fool. I want you to go hard on him. He's literally looking out the window because he's afraid that they're going to bum rush his house, just like Area 51. And I think maybe we should plan on doing that. But keep it up. Keep going after that bum. I got something for him tonight. So we'll leave that where we go. So there's not a whole lot of sports going on right now. We're hearing that the Masters is going to be played in November 15th. Baseball is trying to figure out how to get open. We're beginning to get some auto racing and stuff. I think wrestling is still kind of going on, but it's still not quite there where we would like to be, where there's tons and tons to talk about. So, of course, the topic of fallback is always Dak Prescott. And it seems like there's a little bit of revisionist history now because all winter long, it was Dak sucks. Dak's not a top quarterback. Dak Prescott is nowhere near Carson Wentz. And then yesterday, I posted an article by Michael Christ. I talked about this article, and I didn't put the link in originally. The link is in there now because I had Eagle fans saying, you're a liar. You're just making shit up. Now, I'm going to tell you, I talk a lot. I can be annoying as hell. I will troll the hell out of people sometimes. But one thing I do not do, I have more integrity than the talking heads on ESPN. I do not, let me say again, I do not make shit up. When I tell you I read an article, I'm telling you I read an article. Or I will show you the clip. I will analyze, I will break it down. But I am not going to bring some bullshit lies to you. The article that I read came from Bleeding Green, a Philadelphia Eagle publication. It didn't come from a Dallas Cowboy publication. It came from the Eagles. And the guy made 100% facts. Something a lot of you guys don't like to believe in. Because as you put it, you would think that Carson Wentz has never lost a game in the NFC East. That, he beats the Dallas Cowboys on regular. Your only battle cry is Carson Wentz, you guys lost to practice squad guys. You seem to forget that my quarterback had 5 drops in that game. You seem to forget that my quarterback couldn't practice all week because he had a separated shoulder. But, that's okay. That's okay. But it seems like now the wave of trashing Dak has turned into the wave of actually looking differently at Dak Prescott. So this is Tom Downey. Okay. Shout out to Tom.
Boys, we will begin with Dak over Carson Wentz. Yeah, guys, this is 4 stars. Now, could it change in a couple of years? Sure. Has it changed before? Also, yes. But if you're evaluating them across their seasons and even just last year, it's Dak Prescott. In most of the metrics out there, Dak is better than Wentz. Now, of course, that has not been the case. For example, 2017, Wentz was better. And I'm not trying to hate on Carson Wentz here either. Both of them have shown they're great quarterbacks. They're franchise guys, when Wentz is actually healthy. They're both very, very good quarterbacks. But if you evaluate the two across the board, Dak's the winner. And I'll do that here for you guys on the show. So just career stats, some raw numbers here. Completion percentage, okay, Dak Prescott. Yards per attempt, Dak Prescott. Fun fact, the touchdown percentage and the interception percentage are actually the exact same for Dak Prescott. Dak has more in both because, he's played in a couple of extra games. Game-winning drives, also in favor of Dak Prescott, because if you claim that Dak hasn't taken over fourth quarters like Wentz has, I just don't think you're really paying that much attention.
I'll also add to that Dak Prescott has a lot more rushing touchdowns than Carson Wentz, 21. Also, too, that Carson Wentz has a lot more fumbles, 48-31. And touchdown-wise, both of them have 97 in the career. I know Dak Prescott had 8 more games to get those, but he had a lot less fumbles in 8 more games.
Attention to the particular games. Okay, so let's look at last year then. It is, after all, a what have you done for me now league. You can look at any of what I'm just going to group together as the nerd numbers. Pro Football Focus, ESPN's QBR, NFL's long-established quarterback rating, DVOA, which is a Football Outsider stat, and EPA, which is a super, super nerdy number. It's expected points. That is just a way to rank offenses and quarterbacks and players. Dak beat Wentz in literally all of those. Across the board, Pro Football Focus. All the different ways to evaluate a quarterback, depending on what type of nerd math you want to use, favor Dak Prescott. Now, I thought everything, right? There are areas in which Wentz was better. For example, interception percentage. Wentz was actually one of the best in the NFL. One play is actually pretty good for Dak Prescott, too. And Wentz had a really bad supporting cast, which definitely flies for this past year, although not across the careers, because Wentz's supporting cast won a Super Bowl without him. There were also more wins in 2019, and he played better against the top-shelf defenses than Dak did. And, of course, that 2017 season as well. But my point here is this. If all the other numbers and metrics say, yeah, this quarterback was better, but its team didn't win as many games, wouldn't that be evidence that it's not the quarterback's problem and it's actually the supporting cast problems? Because if you look at the actual ways to evaluate the quarterback, as difficult as it is to separate quarterback from other positions, because it's all interconnected, the coaching staff too, Dak had more on-target throws. That is per Pro Football Reference. It's all publicly available, by the way, folks. Just, use your powers of Google. Fewer bad throws than Carson Wentz, and that's percentage-based, of course. He had more drops than the Eagles receivers gave him. He had a deeper depth of target. The idea that it was a dink-and-dunk offense has been a myth for a while now, but people don't want to listen to that.
People still say
he also had a high touchdown
dink-and-dunk
percentage in 2019. Some of not you, but people out there have claimed garbage time for Dak Prescott, which frankly just isn't accurate. So I defined garbage time as down by 9 or more points. One score, which I think is a very good way of defining garbage time. Dak's numbers are not overly inflated by garbage time, folks. In fact, his completion percentage was worse when he was down by a significant amount. Wow. Yes, he has more yards than Carson Wentz. Guess what, folks? Carson Wentz threw 8 less passes in garbage time last year than Dak Prescott did. He had more touchdowns, too. than Dak Prescott did in garbage time. So if you're trying to push a garbage time inflated stat narrative, it's just not right. I don't really know how else to say it in that way. So even though I do like Carson Wentz, even if I ignore injuries altogether, for me, the better quarterback is Dak Prescott. If you don't think Dak's a top 10 quarterback because of whatever eye test you're claiming, maybe you need some glasses. You don't have to love Dak Prescott, but I think it's pretty clearly Dak. So cast your votes for me. CW for Carson Wentz.
Okay. So I know the haters out there are going to find, oh, that was bullshit, this, that, and the other. I'll just put it out there. And it's one of those things that if you don't like Dak Prescott, there is nothing that I can say, anybody else will say, that will change your mind. If you're a Dak Prescott fan, there's nothing that's going to change. I get that. You are completely divided. This is Tony Romo 2.0, where either you love Tony or you hated Tony, and nothing would change. Nothing at all. But one final thought on this, because people will say, oh, man, Cowboys, man, they're 8-8. He couldn't lead them to the playoffs and stuff. But what if just two things happened and we were 10-6? Would you think differently? I'm going to say two things. One, we can pick out more than that. But if just two plays in the season changed, one would be a missed 37-yard field goal. 47-yard field goal against Minnesota. A 47-yard field goal against Minnesota would have changed the complexion of the game. Because the Dallas Cowboys, going on the last drive, where they got the ball at the 6-yard line, they were down by 4 points. Had we made the field goal, that 47-yarder, which gave the Vikings great field position where they scored. Had we made that field position, the Vikings would have probably had to go an additional, 12, 14 yards to go for a score. And we have only been down by 1 point. Because in that drive where we had 4 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the game, where we started at our 6-yard line, 6 out of 7 plays were passes. And Dak took the Dallas Cowboys down into the red zone. Where our genius on 2nd and 3, where Zeke Elliott did not bust a grape all night, had 20 rushes for 47 yards on the night, decided to run the ball 2 times in a row down in the red zone. When he had a quarterback who threw for 3 touchdowns and 397 yards, took it out of his hand. You needed a touchdown to win, and unfortunately, on 4th down, they called Zeke Elliott's number again, in which case it was a screen pass on the outside that was broken up. Had we made that field goal, all we would have needed was a field goal to win the game. And we would have been well in position for that, even with Maher. So that's one. The second one I will say is up in New England, where it is a driving rainstorm and nobody wins in New England. So, understand that. I think Patriots were like 18-0 at home over the last 2 seasons when we went up there. But had we not had a blocked a blocked punt, something that New England did on a regular, which gave New England the ball with a very, very short field for the 1 touchdown of the game, I believe the Dallas Cowboys won that game too. 2 special team plays right there, a missed field goal and a blocked punt, were the difference of 2 victories. And if the Dallas Cowboys ended up with 10-6, which is a record that Carson Wentz is now the greatest quarterback since, quarterbacks existed because they made it to the playoffs, would we look differently? Would you guys who hate Dak Prescott look at the Dallas Cowboys differently? Because those 2 plays, those 2 games, that completely had nothing to do with Dak Prescott. But then again, you'll still say, doesn't matter if your running back wasn't able to run. Doesn't matter if your defense can't stop a running back. Doesn't matter if special teams. It's only the quarterback, and it's not the case. Football is a team sport. Yes, you need an outstanding quarterback who can do things. You can't just take any bum off the street and think you're going to win. But having a great quarterback and having a team that's not around them does not work. Ask Peyton Manning that one. All right, guys. It's time for me to go to work. I got a whole bunch of racks that we got to get fulfilled, and I'm going to go out here and get them done. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you soon.